I'm 16 with a week to live. Hello, I've never shared my whole story before, but before I go, I want someone to remember who I was, even if it's just a group of anonymous strangers. I apologize in advance for the length of this. I was born into a wealthy family in East Asia, where my father managed a household corporation. He was a cruel man, often abusive toward my mother and me. Despite his flaws, he tried to shape me into a good man who would one day lead the company he built from nothing. When I was 12, he passed away, and it was said he worked himself to death. After his passing, my mother took on the role of shaping me into a future corporate leader, sending me to the best schools in America. Those years were hell for me, as I missed my home and the friends I left behind. Despite my disdain for school, I did well academically and was moderately accepted by my teachers. In my final year of high school, I requested a transfer to a sister school across the country. That's when I met the only person I've ever loved. She was an underclassman, a scholarship student from my culture. Despite what my background might have deemed shortcomings, I loved her. To this day, she is the kindest person I've ever met, one of the few who truly wanted to be my friend for who I am. Eventually, I found the courage to ask her to date me, and to my surprise, she agreed. However, much of the school disapproved of our relationship due to elitist attitudes and judgments about appearances. I thought I would live happily with her, like in those Korean dramas I once found silly. My dreams of an ideal romance were shattered when I was diagnosed with a terminal illness. At the time of diagnosis, I had 4 months left. Now, most of that time has passed, and I've struggled to maintain a sense of normalcy while hiding my declining health. My cough can no longer be passed off as a cold, and my limp is no longer just a sore leg. I can't pretend everything is all right anymore. Realizing how much pain my passing would cause her, I ended our relationship abruptly, without explanation. She was hurt, as expected, but I convinced myself she would be better off without the burden of my illness. She deserves better than I can offer, especially as I can't be there for her much longer. Now, as I near the end of my life, I reflect on what I wish I could have done differently. Yet, I find little to change. I've come to realize that life is simply a set of cards dealt by the universe, with no order or fairness. The universe is neither good nor bad. It's indifferent. As death approaches, I've thought about professing a belief in a higher power, but that would be a lie. I've never believed in a supreme being responsible for life. I will die as I've lived, alone, except for the brief time I was lucky enough to spend with her. If you've read this far, thank you. I'll miss you, even if we've never met. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, and there is something greater out there. If so, I look forward to seeing her again someday. Thank you and farewell.